vanish.
Hey, what's happening to you guys? Piracy and welcome back to another video. Today's video is going to be something a little bit different. I kind of wanted to talk to you guys about Dragon Ball Xenoverse 3, and the reason why I've been thinking about this game is simply I've been seeing a bunch of new videos pop up and people still making videos about Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2, people still talk about it, and it just goes to show you that besides the crappy online infrastructure and just the network code and all that stuff when it comes to Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2, the game still holds up. This game came out in October 2016 and still is being played to this day. It speaks volume to the quality of this game, and also kind of makes you worry that 2 years afterwards we still haven't gotten another anime game on its same level as Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2, and in fact it feels like the quality is going down. I mean, we got Naruto to Boruto Shinobi Strikers, and that game is just a huge disappointment. We have My Heroes Wants Justice, and I know what you may think, I'm not gonna lie, it looks like a disappointment to me as well. So with Xenoverse 3, I've been thinking about how they could improve the overall world of Xenoverse. Like, we understand that we have time patrollers, and that's kind of been the stick with the Xenoverse franchise. It allows us to go back to different time periods, experience the world of Dragon Ball in ways that we haven't really been able to experience it before. But after 2 games of time traveling and experiencing the same thing twice, but in a different way with some new flares, this and that, I kind of feel like it's time now that we just really just go full front with something completely different and new. Now I've been thinking about kind of going in the Dragon Ball Heroes route. Like, I keep mentioning this in previous videos, but I feel like if we want to keep things fresh, if we want to make sure that we don't get bored traveling to the to the Saiyan saga, to the Android saga, to the Majin Buu saga over and over again just to re-experience the same thing, we have to try and make something new, something different. So one of the ideas that I've had when it comes to this new installment is having some type of faction system. There was a special episode with Trunks going back in time and actually changing something that wasn't meant to be changed. He went back and saved future Gohan from actually being killed by the androids, and the Supreme Kai of Time gave you an option saying that you can stop Trunks from changing history, or you can leave it as it is and just be overlooked. Now that option alone was very interesting. Now we don't know what the result is, whether or not the option will have any effect in future installments, but the fact that they gave us an option was kind of like a small indication for what might be coming with the next installment. And this is a great way to kind of have some type of faction going on. So we have the old guy, the Supreme Kai of something else. So like I'm just gonna call him the Supreme Kai of oldness or whatever. And then we have the Supreme Kai of Time. Maybe they could have some type of faction between those two. Those who wish to change time to improve something, and those who don't want to change time, or whatever the case may be. Or maybe, because I know they're not gonna make characters, well, the human characters, they're not gonna make them play as the evil side. I mean, I don't see them doing that. I think they're gonna try and keep it all positively. Both sides are fighting the good fight, but both sides have different philosophy when it comes to messing with time, essentially. Some people feel like time should be changed to better the future or whatever, and some people would say time has to be the way it is. That's just the natural order of things, and that's how we grow and learn as a species. This could be a great physiological battle between 2 factions, I think, personally, but that's just one idea. Having some type of faction, making your visit to the Dragon Ball universe that more interesting. You'll be clashing with other time patrollers who are opposing you, and you have to try and fend them off and obviously prove that you changing time is worth it. I don't know how they're gonna do it. it sounds like an MMO, but yeah, it could be an MMO. Another idea that I had, this one, I know people have mentioned this numerous times, but personally I just want to see it at this point. Some type of Dragon Ball Heroes type of thing, where we finally get to see more about this freaking demon realm that we've been hearing so much about. We see Towa, Mira, the Migra, all these characters pop up out of nowhere, but we have no idea what the actual threat is all about. We just see them pop up. Like, I understand that they pulled these characters from the Dragon Ball Heroes world and then they implemented into the Xenoverse world. I don't know why they're doing it, and they're just trying to kind of ease us into the possibility of just dealing with non-canonical characters. But honestly, I think it's time that we just go full on Dragon Ball Heroes, you know, like have some type of, instead of it being time oriented, it could be dimension oriented, where instead of like we're just going back in time to fix something and then we go back to this central space that doesn't exist in any universe, which is what it's called, which is why it's called the Xenoverse. But just have all these universes merged together to some huge mega universe. Like they did this with the Marvel comics as well, where all the different universes merged together, kind of like how they did it with Dragon Ball Legends. Now that I think about it, take Dragon Ball Legends concept and story of a huge massive universal tournament where characters from different universes, different worlds are coming in together to fight each other to try and win whatever tournament. And your character, who's now no longer a time patroller but instead can be known as, I don't know, a dimension patroller, whatever the case may be, has to win the tournament in order to save the multi-fucking universe. Listen, Bandai Namco, just hire me. Like I feel like I just dropped a gold gem. I don't know, I dropped a diamond or something into this. Like I feel like this would be such an amazing thing. I don't know, I think it'd be pretty cool. Or if they don't want to go with the tournament route, they could just have the universes merge together, and it's up to you to kind of travel around, figure out who caused it, decide who you want to fight, who you don't want to fight, who you want to recruit to your team, who you don't want to recruit to your team. This is a great way to kind of merge heroes and villains together. So if you want to have someone like Frieza on your team, obviously with the risk of Frieza betraying you in the end, you can do that. If you want to have someone like, you know, Pan on your team, you can do that. I feel like that'd be a great way to kind of mix things up and make things seem more interesting as opposed to just going back in time, because I feel like that's what they're gonna do again. They're gonna make you go back in time, but this time the selling point is going to be, guess what, you get to go back in time to experience the Tournament of Power. You get to experience what was it again, the Dragon Ball movie. Like, come on man, we don't need all that shit. We just need something new. And that's it. That's the two ideas that I have when it comes to just new story narrative. Essentially, one being a faction type thing where if you choose to follow those who want to change time, you can, and if you choose to be on the side who doesn't want to change time, and then you have the two factions going in and doing their time war thing, and obviously the real villain is pulling the strings in the background, things like that. But now that I think about it, I'm really leaning towards the whole multi-mega universe thing. I think that would be the next logical step in terms of just how this would work. I feel like it would work so fucking well, and I don't know how they're gonna explain why there's so many dimension patrollers in that universe, but they'll make it work. I mean, realistically, you don't really need that many time patrollers, you know, because how many times are you gonna go back in time to fix something? Yeah, so that's it for me, like, in terms of story narrative. Now, when it comes to customization, I think the only freaking thing that I still have gripe with is the fact that they don't let us have spiky hair. I mean, I know people think that this is just a little whiny thing to have, but listen, realistically, some Saiyans have spiky hair when they transform, some don't. That doesn't mean that when you make video games about them, you make all hairs look the same. Like, come on, man. Give us the option. Just the way how when Vegeta transforms, his hair doesn't spike up because technically it's already spiked up, or when Gohan goes from from Saiyan to Super Saiyan, his hair doesn't really change. There are still Saiyans whose hair change when they transform, such as Goku, Goku, Trunks, Kid Trunks, Kid Goten, literally every other Saiyan, but that's besides the point. That and Tails, we want Tails that can actually move. Like, it's kind of sad that we have modders who actually make better items than the actual creators. Like, come on. But obviously, for most people, the biggest and most important thing, including myself, is essentially a really good online infrastructure. Now, I will say this, for both Dragon Ball Xenoverse 1 and Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2, the online during lunchtime was fucking amazing. It was actually it was actually incredibly smooth, no issues, no lags, no nothing. It was until like they started releasing patches and DLCs and that's when the online just started going downhill. Like, with each update, with each DLC, the online just got worse and worse and worse. So it's interesting. Hopefully they'll try and understand why it happens, because when I look back at my early videos of both Dragon Ball Xenoverse 1 and 2, I never really complained about the online that much. It wasn't until recent updates started rolling in where I started noticing that I kept complaining about the online and stuff like that. But I've made so many videos talking about what I would like to see, but I think the biggest thing for me essentially is just a new story narrative. Allow my character to talk. I don't know why I haven't mentioned this before. I need my characters to talk. I need them to be able to voice their opinions and option dialogues, things like that. Option dialogues. Having an option to choose what I would like my character to say would be pretty nice. I'm really not a fan of my character just standing there like a fucking idiot, just nodding his head, doing some simple shock faces, and I need some actual dialogue, just a little bit, or at least not a dialogue, but options to suggest what I would like to say. But anyways, that's just for me. That's just my thoughts and opinion on what I would like to see. Let me know what you think. If you think this is a good idea, a bad idea, whatever. I'm Paris, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.